Oh, here she is. Yes, it's me, Timmy Alexis Carrington Ward, on Here She Is, the Prostate Cancer Podcast. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer last October, and what I found helped was seeing people online talking about their story. It really did help me. It prepared me for the journey I've got ahead. So I thought I would do my own version to help, hopefully, somebody else out there who has newly been diagnosed with prostate cancer, or anyone that is still on their journey with prostate cancer. Just, it's my way of giving back. So I hope this helps if you're that one person. You are listening to me, Timmy Alexis Carrington Ward, on Here She Is, on the Prostate Cancer Podcast. And today I have got, well, you'll probably remember him from That's Life. He was on LBC Radio. I was speaking to him earlier. He wrote Sue Pollard's #2 hit, Starting Together. And I think you've just finished BBC Radio Berkshire. It's Bill Buckley. Welcome.
Hi, thank you very much.
Did I get all of that right?
What a strange ragbag of career bits and bobs I've had, really. But there we are.
That's showbiz, isn't it?
It's kept the wool from the door. Yes, it certainly is. Yeah.
First of all, can I say sorry about your diagnosis? It's quite a bonkers thing, isn't it, to hear that you've got cancer of any form, really. But I think it's everyone says it, but if you're going to get one, it's the better one to get.
Indeed, yes. I mean, it is statistically the least worst male cancer, and of course, also it all depends when it's picked up. You know, poor old Dermot Murnaghan has left us recently, and he's one of several stars that we've seen in that situation. And mine was caught very early and completely by accident. I wasn't going for a test at all, and that meant that they could then monitor it. And of course, also for most men, it never grows. It just sits there and mind its own business, and you die at the age of 95 when you're hit by a bus or something like that. So even when I first knew I'd got it, I didn't know that. So I was in panic stations, but then everybody told me that it would probably never come to anything. So then I was very relieved, and I thought, I'll get on with my life. But of course, then it did in the end decide to grow. But it was all dealt with this wonderful new method, which no doubt you'll want to talk about. And I am 100% the man I was before.
Very good. It seems rife, doesn't it? Like we say at the minute, it's just like you open the papers or look online, whatever. It's just another person after another person, which I'm sort of thinking is a good thing, that people are probably going for these PSAs now.
Yes, absolutely. You never know, do you, with societal changes, whether people are doing the thing more, or it's just all right to talk about the thing, you know. And you do wonder historically how many people died unnecessarily, even before we had today's wonderful treatments, just because they pushed it to one side and didn't do anything about it in case it was this shameful thing. Why was it ever shameful, you know? But, you know, you didn't call it by name, and you didn't want to admit that you got it. So, yes, I think we are in our heads anyway, much healthier about it than we used to be. I don't know about our bodies, but certainly the way we talk and think about it, yeah.
Well, I think because actually you do hear so many more people who they say now living with cancer. And so it's not like when we were young and it's that person, they've got the C word, and you just know once that you're just waiting for them to die. We are in such a good place. I think it was Sarah Beanie who actually said it's not the same unless you get the horrible ones like esophagus or pancreatic. We're in such a good place, and hopefully that will make people not so scared to go and get tested, because there are a lot of people that just put their heads in the sand rather than not face up and go for it, because you just think, oh my goodness, type thing. So let me take you back. How long ago was it that you went in hospital with leg pain?
Yeah, that was, I think, my legs suddenly. I just finished a day's work judging chocolate for the Academy of Chocolate, which is another of the
Another
things
one
I
of
do
your
in my
jokes,
my
jobs. I mean,
my weird rag bag of career. And was walking back to the station at Victoria in London, and my left leg was swollen. It didn't half hurt, and stupidly, I put it down to having done leg day at the gym the day before. It didn't occur to me that I'd done both my legs at the gym equally, and there was nothing at all wrong with the right leg. So I think 2 days later, 2 days after basically hopping, I went to Boots and said, "Can I have a compression bandage and some painkillers?" And the pharmacist came and saw me and said, "I will not sell you those. You are to go to A&E immediately."
wow.
And I did, and they uh, they eventually saw me after quite a long wait and did all the tests, and then they said it takes us 4 hours to process the tests. So go and sit in reception again. So I was there about 8 hours by then. They called me back in and said the machine wasn't working properly. We've got to do it again. So they did it all over again. And I went back for another 4 hours. So I've been there 12 hours by the time I went back in to see them. And this time they said there was nothing wrong with the machine. It's just that you are not the kind of person who has a deep vein thrombosis because you exercise all the time and you're not a pound overweight and you don't smoke and da da da. And also, it was the biggest that some of us have ever seen. Mr. Buckley, you are a mystery. However, and then I got very scared because they said, "We think if we give you a big injection now directly into your stomach, it might be safe to send you home rather than keep you in overnight. Would you like that?" So I said, I would like that. And they did. And then I had the first appointment the next morning at the deep vein thrombosis clinic at my local hospital. And I went there and they did more scanning and concluded it certainly was what their colleagues at A&E thought it was. And the nurse said, "Don't worry. As you can see, because of last night's super injection, it's already getting better." And I could feel it was already getting better and it looked better. And she said, "From now on, you have to take blood thinners for the rest of your life." I thought, well, 2 tablets a day, fine. I've been saved.
Yeah.
And then just as I was leaving, I'd actually got my hand on the doorknob, I remember. She said, "Oh, by the way, of course, you do know that you have prostate cancer, don't you?" And I did not know. And this had been picked up, apparently it quite often is, during the DVT tests that they'd taken. So then my whole world came crashing down again because at that point I thought cancer probably meant death.
Yeah.
And then I gradually learned that it doesn't mean that. And, I just got checked every 3 or 6 months for about 3 or 4 years. And I thought it's not going to grow. And then it suddenly decided to grow. Hence, I then had the treatment.
What age are you at this point?
At that point, I'm about 64.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
for me, I was 56, and you just don't imagine, do you? You do think of,
Mm.
of prostate as a really old man's disease, don't you?
You do, yeah. I mean, I think I looked it up, and I think I was only 2 or 3 years ahead of average, whereas you were probably more than a decade
Yeah.
unlucky. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but then you look at Chris Hoy, his was in
yeah,
his early 40s. He must have had that.
yeah, yeah. And of course, the fittest man you'll ever meet.
Exactly. But
Mm.
also on that front, then, because it's not mandatory, is it, to the PSA? Um, but in this instance, they that checks if you have got blood clots and things. So,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Very
that's
lucky.
that's amazing in itself, isn't
Yeah.
it? That you sort of you can be grateful for the blood clot, really.
And do you know, Timmy, the silly thing is that every year until COVID, I used to go to the local Lions Club, the Lions charity people, because they did a prostate cancer check day at, I think it was a cricket ground, then it moved to a small private hospital or whatever, but absolutely free. And they tested well over 1,000 men once a year in a day. And because I'm locally a little bit known, I was sort of their poster boy for that and used to do the publicity for them. So I went for several years and got my negative result. And then COVID came along, and then somehow I didn't start that up again. So thank goodness, yes, I was very lucky, and I absolutely will always thank my blood clot. Yes.
There we go. Positive out of negative there.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Oh, here she is. Don't forget to donate to our Just Giving page, either up here or down here in the link. It all is going for a good cause. Prostate Cancer UK. I said it. You're listening to me, Timmy Alexis Carrington Ward, on Here She Is on the Prostate Cancer Podcast. And we've got the lovely Bill Buckley here, who was in That's Life, which I remember fondly. He's a presenter. You've got a finger in every pie, haven't you?
You're frozen now. I
Oh,
can't
did
hear
I?
you.
Sorry. I thought you were shocked by me saying you had a finger in every pie. I thought I'd shocked you into
Oh,
silence.
I see. No, I think we just had a little glitch in the signal there. Glitch in the signal there.
There you go.
Um,
Well, what I was saying is, well,
yeah,
you've done everything you across the board in your professional career. So, Bill, let's get back to business.
yes,
So you've gone for your blood clot. You've gone. They've looked at it as you're leaving. The nurse said you do know you've got prostate cancer,
yeah.
and you have already said, "Wow, I thought that was it." It's a horrible, horrible word, and I mean, I can top you because mine's was an aggressive. They added into the conversation as well. Do
Um,
you know what your PSA was when they took it?
I'm terrible with things like that. If I said 6.1, would that sound ludicrous or
No,
likely?
that's fine. And actually, I'm going to say at this point that was mine. But
Ah,
but I was on. I have to pronounce this right. Finasteride, which is I had a hair transplant. So you take pills to keep your hair in,
oh, right.
which I'm assuming you haven't, but
You had, yeah, honestly, you should have been a detective.
just call me Jessica Fletcher.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but you know what happens then? That means it doubles. So actually, mine was 12. Now that people don't
Wow.
know about either, do they?
No, that
Because
is
I went a
amazing.
year and a half before, and mine was just at the top of being all right. But if I
Yeah,
had known that fact, I would have said, "Listen, you have to double that then," and I would have done it back in the day. So all these things we don't know, which is getting better, and this is why I'm
yeah.
doing these podcasts and things just to get
Mm.
just to get that word out there. So your PSA was that. So that is quite, mind you, that was that at the beginning. You're
No, I
five,
think I think that's when I don't remember all the numbers properly. I've got a
right?
feeling that's when they said it's time
Yes,
to take action.
that's what I would have said.
Yeah,
Being me, a doctor and a detective.
there you go. There you go.
so,
Yeah, yeah.
so the nurse says to you, "You've got this prostate cancer." What was your next port of call? What did you have to do after that?
I had to then go and have a PSA, I think.
At your GP's,
At my GP's, yeah, yeah,
right?
and they said yes, yes, you have got it. It's low. We'll monitor it for now, and then they kept monitoring it for several years until, as I say, one time they said, "Oh, it's now decided to put a spurt on. You need to have a treatment. Here is a leaflet. Take this away. These are all the various treatments you can have. You'll have a consultant's appointment fairly soon, and at that, you and they can decide." What the course of action is going to be, which is what happened.
And by monitoring, they mean how often did you go back for your PSA test?
Again, I think 3 months or 6 months, I can't remember.
Yeah, because I'm on 3 months. And
Three
the
or six.
PSA is a prostate specific antigen level. That's what it tests for of how much protein is in your blood. You see, I'm becoming an expert
Right.
since
You
this.
are. I didn't.
It is actually bonkers, isn't it, that you get thrust into this world where suddenly those words all stand out to you, don't they? It's
Mm.
mad. So you after the nurse, did you just fall apart when you were with the nurse when she said that? Were you just like, what?
Well, I wouldn't say fall apart. But I was quite scared and quite worried and thought, does this mean I'm not going to live very long, or might it anyway mean I'm not going to live very long?
Yeah.
And if so, what am I going to do about all tying up all the loose ends of my life, and what do I still want to do, all that kind of nonsense. And then so many people have got, as you will know from doing this, have got a story about prostate
Yes.
cancer. And they're it's like a community, really. They rush to tell you. And one of my colleagues said, I don't normally tell people this, not I'm ashamed of it, but I had mine taken out, and I'm now as right as rain. And one of my other colleagues said that her dad had lived with it for a number of years. And when she went to see him, because he and her mum had moved house, he'd stopped having the checks. He said, "Oh, I think they probably lost our details," and he hadn't been checked for about 6 years. And she claimed that when she then frog marched him down to get tested, they couldn't find any trace of it. It is as if it had just not only stopped but gone away. So all these things, cheered me up a great deal. And then by the time I got the second test and they said, "Oh no, there's no change," I thought, yeah, I'm going to be one of the majority of men who just carries this thing around and it doesn't affect them in any way, and I'll get run over by the proverbial bus when I'm 93. So of course that did then change, and then, as I say, it became time to decide what treatment I was going to have.
Did you also have, which I had, which I think is a natural thing that humans do, and I don't know why. I had my partner's dad had that. He died. They said he was going to be all right. He died. It's just like, why do people do that? I'm like, oh, okay. Did you
Yeah.
have any of that as well?
I don't think I did, to be honest. All I can remember is entirely positive stories of people who either had had it and it had never done anything, or had had it and had had various treatments. And although they didn't all, I mean, taking the prostate out, it's got quite a high risk, as you'll know, of side effects that are quite difficult to get rid of. Urinary problems, sexual problems, and so forth. But nonetheless, they were all still here, and they all said that their life was either just as it was before or had been a bit compromised, but they got used to it, and it's a darn sight better than being dead. So
And
I would.
Bill, I had sexual problems before I had the operation. Don't you worry.
Well, I think don't we all? We're honest at one point or another. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
So
I
so
tell you
no, I
another
was I,
thing
I was
is,
all right.
yeah,
Mm,
another thing is on that is I think people like a disaster story, don't they? And actually, there are not that many with prostate
yes.
cancer, are there, as
Yeah,
well?
no, that's very true. That's very true. And
So
as we've said already, it is so down to at what stage it's noticed, isn't it? Yeah.
absolutely. I just for your information, when they took mine out, it had started to come out of the prostate, which is still, it's called locally advanced, but
Oh
still
yes.
curable sort of thing. So
Right.
again, it's just that, like with you going for your blood clot, I was just ringing up because I was on statins and they check your bloods every now and then for that before they repeat your prescription. And I just thought,
Yeah.
gosh, if somebody had
Yeah.
interrupted me or something while I was on that phone call and I hadn't said it, I would have been another time gone without that because I had no symptoms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's almost like meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely.
So you go to your doctors, your PSA, they're saying it's low, we'll just monitoring it. How long after that did it start to rise
I had about 3 years when it didn't rise. 2 to 3 years anyway. And then, as I say, one time it had significantly increased, and hence the choose your treatment and off we go.
I imagine in that time you are getting, I'm using this word, I don't mean it as it is, but cocky,
Mm.
as in, oh, that's that then, isn't it? After 3 years, you'd think, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's say relaxed. Let's say sanguine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds so much nicer. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. Listen, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and talk
Okay.
more.
Oh, here she is. Don't forget to donate to our Just Giving page, either up here or down here in the link. It all is going for a good cause. Prostate Cancer UK. I said it.
You are listening to me, Timmy Alexis Carrington Ward. On here she is on the Prostate Cancer podcast. And we've got Bill Buckley, who is a member of Mensa.
Oh, now it's very rarely people bring that up.
I think it's
Yes, I am.
amazing.
Well, it amazed me when
Do you
I
get a badge
passed.
or something when you're that? I'm nowhere
Uh,
near entering that club.
oh, I don't know. I don't think I got a badge. No, I mean, obviously you do get membership, and I remain a member to this day. But I was astonished when I shall I talk very briefly about that? Is that
Yeah, what do you
interesting
have
to
to do? Yeah,
people?
no, absolutely.
So I was at my friend's house. I was going away for a night to stay with a friend of mine, and we were watching a BBC series, and it not series, a one-off show, and it was who's the cleverest profession in Britain, and they had three road menders and three surgeons and three school teachers, and you could play along at home. And at the end of it, it said, "How clever are you? Why not go to this link and da da da." So my friend and I, both had a glass or three of wine by this point, but nonetheless, we decided to do this. And he went first, and it said, "Oh, well done." He then went to the website, and it gave you some questions to do. So this is about 10 o'clock at night by now. With a glass of wine in hand, he'd answered the questions, and it said, "Oh, well done. You're probably top 15%." It's, oh, that's good. And then I did it, and it said, "Oh, very well done. You're probably top, I don't know, 5% or something like that." And with me, it said, "Might you be interested in taking the Mensa entrance test?"
Oh.
And honestly, I'd never given it a thought in my life before. And I thought, well, I'll click yes or no. Oh, I'll click yes. And then the next thing, I got a letter through the post. And this was a long time ago, so maybe like we didn't understand computing quite like we do today. I don't know, but I got this letter to the post saying your Mensa test will be at 6:30 p.m. at University of Central London on so and such a date. I thought, I'm not sure I want to take it really, but anyway, I went along on the night. There was a wonderful cross section of people. There was a little boy. He was about 8 there with his dad, and his dad wasn't taking the test. He was just chaperoning his little boy. And there were a couple of young Asian babes, these two gorgeous young women with their lovely nails and hair. There was a guy who must have been 80 easily, and all these other people. And we did the exams, and we all came out shell shocked because they were so hard, and none of us had anything like finished, and we all knew we'd failed. But in fact, they have to make it so that even if Einstein showed up, he could get
He'd
to the
find it
end, sort of
tricky.
thing. Yeah. So that was horrible, and I went home with my head down and thought, well, what does it matter
Yeah, I
really?
don't even like that. Don't want to be part
Probably
of your
not.
club.
No, and I get through life all right, and I do my job, and then I got the letter through, and to my astonishment, I had I'm showing off now. I'd quite easily passed. Yeah, and I still to this day am amazed by it. But anyway, so yes, I maintain I never do anything. I never go to the meetings. I never do anything, but I do pay my sub each year to stay in Mensa. And wouldn't it be fascinating to retake it? I was about 46 then, 67 now. I bet I'd be the other side of the line now, because the brain does slow down a bit, doesn't it? So I'm not going to
Oh,
retake it.
I mean, it really does. And if you take pills every day, do you have that thing of, have I taken them or not? I have to have
Oh
a little
yes.
pill
Oh,
case with the name, with the days on
I
the thing.
know. I haven't bought one yet because that seems to be really the last resort.
No,
But
you have to go
there are
there.
many days when I can't remember. Yeah,
Seriously,
yeah.
and I'll have just taken it. And what have I done it or not? It's mad, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
So
well, we're sorry, we
let's get
digress.
back
Yes,
to the
back to the lovely old cancer. Yes.
prostate cancer where we started. Um, so where were we up to? So it started to go up 3 months. No, what did you say? 3 years
Yeah.
after they're
We, we,
monitoring you.
we got to the stage where they were saying, "What sort of treatment would you like?"
Yeah.
Basically.
So what did you have to then go and have MRIs and things at that point when it started to creep up?
Yes, I did. Oh, you are good at this, aren't you? Yes, I did. I had at least one to confirm that it was definitely time to get
Yeah.
cracking. Yes, I did. Yeah, yeah. And then I had my meeting with the consultant and two nurses as well. I felt like a huge star. I felt
I
very,
mean,
very
yeah.
taken very seriously.
It really, I
And
mean, it's a surreal moment, isn't it, though, when you are sat there
mm,
and a surgeon, doctor, or whoever
mm,
are
mm.
saying you've got cancer. It's so surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. But I'd read the leaflet anyway, and it said, removal of organ, chemotherapy,
They
radiotherapy.
they wouldn't have offered you chemotherapy. I know that.
All
That's
right, radiotherapy then. Beg your
yes.
pardon.
Come on, Bill.
Um, well, I'm so hazy about it all. Brachia, that's the seeds they put inside you.
Yeah.
That sounded all right, actually. And then at the end, it said, in a very limited number of hospitals, you might be offered a thing called HIFU, high intensity focal ultrasound. And that seemed to have far fewer side effects and seemed to be much more focused and well, hence the name and targeted. But be aware, it's very unlikely. So my surgeon said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Well, in the real world, I'd like the brachia." And he said, "Yes, that's a very good option for you." And I said, "There was that thing saying, in about 3 hospitals, you can have this fabulous new super duper thing where you're all done in a day. But obviously, I'm assuming you don't have that." And he said, "We do, because we're part of an Oxford University trial. So various hospitals near, it was just postcode lottery time, hospitals geographically near Oxford do it, and we do it. And I think you'd be all right for it." And he said to one of the nurses, "Jane, is Karen in today? Do you know?" And she said, "Yes, I've just seen her in the corridor." So would you pop along and see whether she'll see Mr. Buckley after we've finished here? And Karen was the lead nurse for this whole trial, who was based at Reading, where my hospital was, and signed me up. And then, of course, you have to wait to see whether you're going to get the HIFU or whether you're going to be in the control group, and you have to have one of the other treatments. Because but anyway, she rang 2, 3 days later to say that the computer sorts it all out to get us exactly similar a group in each of the two disciplines as possible. And the computer, quite arbitrarily, had put me in the HIFU group, so I was going to have the HIFU, and that was a lovely, lovely moment.
Can I just go back a little bit? Did you have to have a biopsy?
Did I have a biopsy? I think I did,
I'm
yes.
thinking you would have, and
Yeah.
that's where you have the ultrasound thing that goes up your bottom to show where it is, and they put needles up in your undercarriage.
Yes, I did. Do you know, I did, and I've completely blotted that out. Yes, I did.
I'm not surprised. It's. I mean,
It hurt, it hurt. It hurt a medium amount. Yes.
I
Yes.
grabbed hold of the nurse's hand on that bit. And also,
Yeah.
we were thinking, because I went with my partner and we were sat outside, there was this old guy before, sort of very similar to my dad's age. And I just thought, it's just, I mean, I can joke it away and everything, but it is really very personal area and everything, isn't
Mm.
it? But they did very well by covering your modesty and things like that. Well, I mean, they're all
Yes.
very professional and it
I,
needs
I
to be
did,
done.
throughout the entire process, I've felt so well looked after and so respected
Yeah,
and so humanized as well. They joke with you and they take your mind off it and stuff. They're
yeah.
much more than just great clinicians. They're good psychiatrists as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that, were you NHS, by the way?
Yeah. Never
Yeah,
paid a penny for any of it. Incredible.
honestly, yeah. And it's, I think when it matters, they're there, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's the small bits and pieces that will take time. Understandably, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going
Yeah.
to take another break.
Oh, here she is. Don't forget to donate to our Just Giving page, either up here or down here in the link. It all is going for a good cause. Prostate Cancer UK. I said it.
You're listening to me, Timmy Alexis Carrington Ward, on Here She Is, on the Prostate Cancer Podcast. And we have got Bill Buckley, who actually campaigned to get Noel Gordon back into Crossroads.
I love how you drop one of these bits of my past at the start of each of these sections. I
I
well,
know who you are. I've done my
you,
research.
I'm going to take out a restraining order against you. This is getting ridiculous.
It's all my favourite sort of things. All I would have been there shoulder to shoulder with you with all these things.
I
And you
was, I,
played Joseph as well.
oh,
I
I
know
did. Yes, I
that.
played Joseph. Yeah,
You've
yeah.
done it
No,
all.
with the Noel Gordon, I was 22 and I was trying to have my first hit record. So I wrote a protest song about Noel getting the sack, and it got released, and it actually took down the record company, because normally with a new artist they would release just a few copies and see whether it was going to be a goer or not. But being a news story, it was kind of then or never. So they went into full production and nobody bought it, and it took down the record company. I
Can
was
we find it on
22
YouTube?
oh yes, absolutely,
I might
yes.
play it. I might
It's not
play
a
it.
bad song. When I hear back to it, like musically and lyrically, you can kind of see where I was going. I'm not ashamed of it at all as a piece of art. No,
I'm going to play it for our listeners. They can decide.
they can't.
Right. Let's get
let's get all adult again. So, you've had your biopsy. Do you know, you won't know this, what your Gleason level was?
Oh, that rings a bell. That number, the name, yes.
I'm thinking you're 7
I don't know. I
because
don't know.
I am the same as Stephen Fry. We're both 9.
Oh,
Aggressive
oh,
cancer. It goes up to 10 and we're both 9.
all right.
I think you were
Okay.
probably a 7 by the sounds of
Mhm.
things. And I, obviously, being
Mhm.
a doctor and a detective, I know these things.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Okay.
that's when they would have told you that. They would have told you what they were up to. You got onto this special. Would we say it's a trial? Was it a trial?
I believe so, yeah. And I've had to report back ever since. I've filled in so many long online questionnaires to help with their research since, which I've loved doing. I feel that I'm giving something back and I'm
Yeah.
being useful. But I mean, they're long and they go right through from on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy would you say you are about all aspects of your life,
Right.
through to on a scale of 1 to 10, how sore are your nipples?
So
And
they
when
are.
that one came
Hmm.
yeah, when that one came through, I did ring up my now friend, my lead nurse, Karen, and I said, I think they've sent me the wrong form, Karen, because they want to know about the soreness of my nipples and that I don't know how that can apply. And she said, no, everybody gets the same form with all these questions, and even though some of them seem to be so irrelevant and so left field, apparently there is some good to be had from answering every one of them. So tell them about your nipples, and then I did.
And was there one to tick about songwriting, how good you are or anything? No?
No, that's the only thing that was missing, and you're quite right. I must recommend that
Yes, I should
that
imagine so.
that is added. Yes,
I think that's exactly what should be on there. So you are having you have had HIFU treatment,
yes,
which I want to explore more. It's is it like
yes,
laser? Do they
yes.
laser?
It's sound waves that they ping up through your bottom, and the heat of it, I think, is what destroys the cancer cells. And it's the best yet in terms of killing the bad guys and leaving all the good guys alone. And that's why you only need one session and you recover so quickly.
Oh wow, only one session. That must be on a
Oh yeah.
very early diagnosis, yeah? It can't be on a
Well, I do remember one state him saying yes, you can have this because you were caught quite early.
yeah.
So I don't know how early, but if you're much later down the line, then you can't have it. Not yet. I mean, maybe the day will come, but not yet.
Well, another thing I want to say about that is anything online, everything is it just stays online. So all the old
Mm,
statistics and things are still on there, even though
mm,
in the last 10 years we've doubled life expectancy for prostate
mm,
cancer. But all of that
mm,
old data is still up there. So
mhm.
it's you'll never get the sort of like real picture because it's left
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Um, so you had that. Would you say were you awake when they were doing that to you?
No, no, no. You have a general anaesthetic. You go in the morning and they prep you, and you have a general anaesthetic, and you wake up a half an hour later or whatever, and then you have to stay there till early evening, and then if all looks good, they send you home again with a catheter,
Yeah.
which you keep for 1 week.
I loved having
Uh,
a catheter. Did you not? I not getting out of
I
bed.
I despised every living second of having a catheter.
Oh,
I thought
I
it was
didn't mind it at
awful.
all. I didn't mind it at all. Apart
Didn't
from when
you?
my husband was trying to put it up on the bed head, and I said, I can't wheel uphill.
No, but didn't you fight? I thought I'd like it because I thought, what a hoot, as you say, to be able to wee any time on a
Yeah.
bus, have a
Chatting to
wee,
people, just having a wee.
great. But it was that horrible feeling that you were kind of slightly weeing all the time,
I
and
liked it.
I thought it was
I
awful.
have
I
to say, I
hated it.
liked it. I don't know that what it says about me. I was quite
Mm.
sorry to see that go.
I remember walking along in my loose tracksuit bottoms to
And
hide
you
the fact
tie
that
it
I've
to
got
your
a
leg,
bag.
don't you? Yeah.
And it was slapping against my leg, and I thought, have I come to this? I'm being slapped by my own warm pee. This is awful. No, I can't. I have to disagree with you on that.
So then, is that it? You just are fine after that. Have you not had to have any
I,
other treatments or anything like that?
no, nothing at all. No treatments at all. I was a bit tired and a bit sore for 2 or 3 days. That was all. The catheter came out after a week, and I did some pelvic floor exercises just
Yeah.
to get back control. But I couldn't believe how well they worked. And that is that. And of course, I'm being monitored still in case it starts up again.
And is that when you
Um,
say monitored PSAs how
yes,
often do you have
PSA's
that?
every 3 months at the moment, which of course drops down
Sorry, so
as
when
you
did you
go.
have this? When did you have this operation? How long ago?
About 7 or 8 months now.
Oh, okay, cool. So we're about the
I've
same.
had,
Yeah, I had my
yeah,
prostate done at the end of last year.
right, yeah.
So
And I've had
I'm every 3 months.
yeah, and I've had the 6 month one. That was my last one, and all was still well. Yeah, so I am fine. I'm healthy in every way. It is as if nothing ever happened.
And the moral of all our stories is go for a PSA. You get the result the
Absolutely.
next day.
Yeah. No,
It's
absolutely.
what you need. I mean, it literally is saving people's lives. And even if it isn't,
Mm.
the treatments are so good now. Just
Yes.
go. You'll prolong your life is doubled now with all the
Yeah.
treatments and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so congratulations on your good health, Bill. What are you
Thank
doing?
you.
What are you doing work wise at the minute?
Well, I'm doing more of my sideline these days. It used to be my sideline, which is food work. I'm a judge and coordinator for the Great Taste Awards, for example. Those little 1, 2, or 3 gold stars that you see on
Oh
packaging.
yes, yes, yeah.
And I'm also a grand juror. I'm proud to say one of the only two non-chocolatiers who's on the grand jury of the Academy of Chocolate. So I do a lot of chocolate writing and sampling every year. As I mentioned before, I do the actually was off air or on air that we talked about this. I can't remember, but I'm an interviewer for the Henley Literary Festival. So I interview in front of live audiences there. I do a few of those each year. A little bit of radio cover work. And punditing here and there, So I've got a nice mixed portfolio, and it's lower pace than it used to be, as befits an elderly gentleman of 67. So yeah, all is good work wise and non-work wise,
Well, I'm thrilled, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and good that we're spreading the word, I say.
isn't it? Just yeah, good for you. Keep on with the work.
So all that's left for me to say to you is thank you very much and cheery bye.
Bye to you too.
Oh, here she is. Don't forget to donate to our Just Giving page, either up here or down here in the link. It all is going for a good cause. Prostate Cancer UK. I said it.
You said it.